Hello, my friends. Kringle Candle has their very first launch of 2025 coming up later this week. And in today's video, I wanted to share you some details about the fragrances that are going to be offered, all of the launch information you need to know. And yeah, I always like these kinds of videos. You guys know that I tend to do these videos for those of you who may not be part of Facebook or Instagram. We know a lot of this information is usually leaked to us on those social media platforms, but I'm very well aware that there are a lot of you guys who say, I don't use either one of those platforms, and you rely on the information given out here on YouTube. So I thought that I would go ahead and do that for you today. Now, if you've been with my channel any length of time, you guys know when I do these videos, sometimes I have the candles in hand to share with you. Other times I just have to rely upon the information that I have been given. And then I'll usually follow up if I end up purchasing the candles or if they end up being sent to me in PR. So in today's video, this is basically going to be me giving you the information. Although Kringle Candle has notified me that they are sending these candles to me in PR, it does not look like they will be here prior to the launch for me to be able to give you my first sniff impressions. So at the time that I am filming this, it is looking like these candles will be arriving at the end of this work week. I'm thinking either Thursday or Friday. So my plan at the moment is to give you all of this information for the launch, but I will update you guys with my first sniff impressions in my late January candle chat video, which I plan to upload this weekend. I'm thinking probably Sunday. So just wanted to put that out there for you guys. Because I wish I would have had them in hand, but it's very generous that they send it to me at all. So I really never complain when the candles arrive to me. You guys know I'll give you that information when I can, but yeah, the timing just didn't work out this time. So 3 new candles that will be launched this Thursday, January 23rd at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You always want to take note of that, especially if you are on the West Coast like I am. Like I said, 3 new fragrances. They are all going to be part of the Reserve line. They are not specifically being marketed as Valentine's Day candles. However, you will see when I tell you the fragrances that are being offered, they definitely have a Valentine's Day vibe going on with them. Also, I am going to give you a little bit of a shout out. There is another Kringle Reserve candle that I received. It was in the fall lineup. I'm going to do a dedicated review on that one, probably tomorrow or the day after. If you're interested in purchasing some Valentine's Day vibe candles, you actually might like that one. So quick little shameless plug there. But like I said, these will be available this Thursday, January 23rd at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Price point on these are $34. They are 22 ounces of 100% white soy wax. And yeah, all sorts of fun stuff there. I do have a discount code with Kringle. It is Katie15. It will save you 15% off of your purchase with them. That is an affiliate code eligible for commission. So please only use that if you are comfortable doing so. So let's not waste any more time. I will pop up a picture here of each candle that I am talking about. And as always, I will have in the description box down below, I will make sure that I not only have timestamps for all of the candles that I'm talking about, but I will also list all of the fragrance notes, link, discount code, all of the information you need to have. So that way, if you need a little bit of a reminder, you can always go back and reference that. All right, so the first candle that is going to be offered is called Bittersweet. Now, this candle actually, I think it was Angel, she reminded us that this candle was initially teased last year when there was a gourmand candle lineup. And for whatever reason, at the last minute, it was not made available. So the fragrance notes on Bittersweet are top notes of dark chocolate, cocoa, mid notes of bittersweet chocolate, base notes of cream and vanilla. So this fragrance to me sounds like it is going to be a very chocolate lover's paradise. To me, the term bittersweet, I'm very curious about this one because I personally don't really gravitate towards chocolate fragrances. I mean, they're okay. If I do burn them, it would be this time of year. But in general, I'm not really somebody who wants that. Now, me personally, I feel like I would probably enjoy this fragrance if it kind of reminds me of brownies. There's nothing in here that makes me think that it will, but I think that this might be a fragrance that might be a great blending fragrance, particularly if you have any kind of like rose scented fragrances in your collection, maybe if you have a vanilla or maybe even like a coffee based fragrance, I feel like this one might be a good combination with that. But I'm very curious to see how I will feel about this because personally, I am more of a milk chocolate kind of gal. I don't really love dark chocolate. But yeah, this sounds to me like it's just going to be a very, very chocolatey candle. So I'm curious to see what it smells like when it arrives. The next candle that I am personally very excited about, you guys know that I did a review for Homeworks. They had a candle very similar to this that I did a review on a couple of weeks ago, and this would be Red Velvet. Now, I mentioned in that review video and then also in my recent candle chats and empties that your girl here loves her some red velvet cake. I love red velvet cake. To eat it, like that is my preference. Like at my birthday, everybody will know, my husband always knows, get her a red velvet cake. That is what I tend to love. So red velvet has top notes of chocolate and sweet, mid notes of milk chocolate and cocoa, and a base note of vanilla cream. Now I'm going to be really honest with you guys. Looking at both of these, I'm like, they have a lot of similar fragrance notes. So what is making these two very distinct from one another? Because I'm seeing two very chocolate heavy candles. My hope is that the red velvet has more of a cake accord to it. Whereas when I think of a bittersweet chocolate candle, I think of that just being straight up pure chocolate. Like they're just like pouring chocolate in like a candy factory, maybe like a hardened chocolate. That's what I think when I see the candle for bittersweet. Whereas red velvet, I'm hoping that there's more of a cake accord that comes out in this. I'm hoping maybe for some frosting, like a frosting accord mixing with the cake. Now I do know that Kringle can do a cake fragrance well because last year's carrot cake fragrance was spectacular. I loved that scent. Spoiler alert, it is coming back this year in the Kringle lineup for the Easter collection. I don't know when that will be available, but you better know that I will be purchasing that candle. But going back to red velvet here, my hopes are that this will be more of an authentic cake fragrance, more so than it just being your standard chocolate scent. Now, that being said, Kringle has done very well, in my opinion, with milk chocolate fragrances. There was a fragrance, it wasn't last Easter, it was the Easter before, I think, that it was called, was it called Chocolate Bunnies or something like that? And that had a milk chocolate note with a slight hint of coconut in the background. I also know that the chocolate note that's in the ice cream sandwiches candle is really yummy. So yeah, I'm very, very curious to see how different bittersweet and red velvet will be. And then the last fragrance that is going to be offered is called Strawberry Prosecco. And I will tell you that just based off of when I saw these fragrance notes listed for the first time, I was like, okay, that's probably going to be the fragrance that I'm least interested in. But the top notes are citrus and floral, mid notes of green and grapefruit, base notes of fruit, strawberry, and musk. And I think the reason why, for me, even though now I'm seeing it's not listed in here, why this one doesn't really appeal to me is because it's in that realm of a boozy fragrance. It's a, they're saying prosecco, so I'm thinking like fragrance notes like citrus and grapefruit. Those are probably going to mimic a type of effervescence that would come with a prosecco. If I like a boozy fragrance, I tend to like them to be more like a whiskey or a rum, or what's the other dark one, bourbon. Like those are boozy fragrances that I tend to like in home fragrance a little bit more. I'm not really a fan of like champagne type of fragrances. There's been a couple of wine ones. What was the one that they had? Oh, the Merlot candle last year. That was actually very, very good, and that surprised me. But that didn't really have a boozy element to it. I do tend to notice that a lot of fragrances, not just with Kringle, but when they've been marketed in other brands like Bath and Body Works, Homeworks, a lot of their like lighter boozy scents, I just don't tend to enjoy as much. So I'm very curious to see what my opinion will be of this candle. Citrus and floral, I'm not really sure what to expect from this. Obviously, there's their favorite little note in their musk to make it, I guess, a little bit perfumey. So I'm thinking that one is probably going to feel a little bit more like spring-like, maybe a little bit more fresh. But I do anticipate that there's probably going to be some type of like effervescent maybe slightly boozy type of fragrance in that candle. So I will tell you, no surprise here, the one candle that if these were not being sent to me, the one candle that I definitely would purchase, no doubt about it, would be the red velvet. The other two I could probably pass by, but like I said, Kringle is kind enough to be sending me these candles in PR, and I will update you guys in my late January candle chat later on this weekend to let you know what my first impressions are of these candles. And I do, hopefully, if I enjoy them on cold sniff, I will try to make sure that I do some dedicated post burn reviews for you. Like I said, these are not specifically being marketed as Valentine's Day candles, so I do anticipate that these candles will probably stick around in the reserve lineup. The one that might be a sellout risk right from the get-go, I'm anticipating the two gourmands. We all know how gourmands do specifically with the reserve line. Those tend to be the ones that go pretty quickly. But I will say that I feel like Kringle has been doing a pretty good job as of late in restocking some of their reserve lineups. It used to be, when they first started this reserve line, when those gourmands sold out right away, you didn't know if they were ever coming back. There have been some fragrances that have just never returned. But I do feel like the fragrances that are very, very popular, they've been pretty good about making sure that they are keeping those restocked. So anyways, you guys, feel free to comment down below. Are you planning to purchase from this launch? Do you feel like we've recovered enough from the post-holiday sales? Let me know in the comment box down below if any of these are intriguing to you. So like I said, this week, you guys, I do plan to upload a post-burn candle review for another reserve fragrance that I have from Kringle. Stay tuned later this week. I will also be uploading a preview video for Caramel Sundays. I know a lot of you guys have asked me to go ahead and do that, so I will be doing that for you guys later on this week. And then, like I said, hopefully my candle chat series, I will have these 3 candles in hand to go ahead and share my initial thoughts with you. Please hit thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. It helps me out with the old YouTube algorithm. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. If you're coming across my channel for the first time, hi, I'm Katie. I love to talk all things candles here on my channel. I do videos like this where I cover new launches. I like to do hauls, empties, dedicated reviews, and everything in between. So if you feel like you vibe with me, make sure you hit that subscribe button before you get on out of here. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.